Hello everyone and welcome to episode 137 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling Series here on the channel, as it is the New Beginning Tour. We're finally here. This episode, my god, as far as delays after delays, it's supposed to come out Wednesday, obviously, then was hoping to get it out on Thursday, then hoping to get it out on Friday. It's like, alright, it's gonna come out on Saturday. No, comes out now, it's Sunday. Jesus, we've made it. But for the New Beginning Tour, of course, we have our U.S. show here. Then we have our two major shows in Japan, Osaka and Sapporo. And then we'll have four Road 2 shows. Two before the Sapporo show, then two before the Osaka show. As this tour, though, as far as we've kind of split up the title matches because it's such a kind of wide net, as far as there's 3 title matches for each show. But there's also, on this tour, you won't be seeing it because there's just really nothing of note. It's the Brody Lee retirement show, which is, really, he could still work, but now it just out of the respect for him and his talents, he's just not the same guy he was, unfortunately, from where he was at the start of the save to where he's at now. Obviously, it sucks that we're saying goodbye to somebody that is obviously in real life no longer with us. This, will be probably the last time we'll be able to use Brody, as far as in any, real world save, unless it's, obviously pre-2020, but, just a bummer and a half, as far as from that regard. I think that's kind of why I was very happy to still keep doing the save. A major reason for that is Brody. It sucks. Sucks that now we're going to have to say goodbye to him. But that's unfortunately the way it goes. You got to say goodbye. Everything comes to an end eventually. And fortunately for Brody, it's this tour. But we'll obviously keep him on the roster. We'll probably have him either be an agent, or we might have him be an agent in GCW, because I think him being back in America would probably be pretty nice for him. But that final show, it's going to be in America. As far as that retirement tour show, it's going to be in his hometown, and at least we're going to try to see if it's going to be in Rochester, New York. But we'll see. We'll try to accommodate that. We'll see, though, as far as venue-wise and size and whatnot. But for the New Beginning show, we'll add it all to the booking page and whatnot here in a bit, but the card itself is as follows. Tyler Black and Will Hobbs for the U.S. titles, the main event. Obviously, us being in the U.S. for a major show, we want to have the U.S. title on last, and the triple champ himself going up against the man who was just a pinfall or submission away from being the heavyweight champion in Tyler Black. It's a big-time matchup, here between Tyler Black and Will Hobbs. Very much looking forward to that. And then the New Japan Strong Women's Openweight Tag Team title on the line. Io Shirai and Kairi Hojo taking on the new champs, the Final Nakamura and Starlight Kid, so they're looking to make their first defense. And for Io Shirai, looking to be a double champ if she can get the win, her and Kairi Hojo. But that's going to be a really good co-main event. Suzuki-gun versus the Kingdom of Torture in the never openweight 6-man tag team title matchup. So Suzuki-gun, of course, had a great showing at the New Year's Dash. They won 3 matches, so they get their title match here against the Kingdom of Torture. Of course, won that gauntlet match by being the last team in the entrance. But that's going to be, as far as if the stacked team of Claudio Castagnoli, Shotaro Ashino, and Chaz Gable, we'll see how they do against the Kingdom of Torture there. Next matchup, another trios match. As it's Dragon's Den versus United Empire, Hiroto Tamura, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly against Falter, Zack Sabre Jr., and Daniel Makabe. Hell of a matchup here for, as far as I believe, it's, no, actually, I'll just bring it up now here. As far as, Falter, Hiroto Tamura, I wanted to double check. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the Osaka co-main event, and it is scheduled for the Osaka show. That, of course, for the Intercontinental title, so we'll see that matchup later on. It's a little build up to that. Konami versus Jungle Kiona as far as the only non-title singles matchup on the card. As of course we're having Triple Talon Tandem and Tokyo Cyber Squad in the co-main. Figure we need to have something kind of on the undercard, and we're going to put it right here in the middle. Might be a mistake, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. It's tough between this matchup and then the Brody King Drew Parker match against Takanori Ito and Rex Steiner. Kingdom of Torture, Suzuki Gun, and again, another title match that's getting another kind of undercard match. Then Brody Lee's one of his final appearances here in the company, as far as he'll be sending it off here for the New Beginning in the U.S. show. He'll have, I want him to be on the Sapporo show, I believe, and because I know the Osaka show, he'll be retired by that point. But that is the plan there. So it's Brody Lee and Black Taurus against Shane Strickland and Christian Casanova. So an interesting matchup for Strickland and Casanova to take on somebody like like Brody and a team like him and Black Taurus. The opening contest, though, hell of a matchup, actually. Diamond K versus the Monstars University, as far as Konosuke Takeshita and Kosai Fujita against the Great Okan and Levi Mir. So that's good. That's actually going to be a really good technical matchup. Excited to see how that plays out. After we run the New Beginning show in the U.S., we'll go through what the final shows are looking like for both the Osaka and Sapporo shows. So as far as that's kind of the plan. So now we'll add everything to the show, and we'll get everything ready to go to run it, and we'll get you guys for that part of the episode. Alrighty, we start off with Konosuke Takeshita and Kosai Fujita against the Great Okan in the Levi Mir, as actually a really good matchup at 86, as Okan and Levi Mir getting the win, as Levi Mir tapping out Kosai Fujita. Good little matchup. Konosuke Takeshita was the best guy in the match. Probably should have got the win as far as looking how that went, but Kosai Fujita was the weak link, so at least it made sense for him to lose there. It's crazy that Levi Mir and the Great Okan have the same rating. As far as obviously Okan has been pushed pretty hard compared to Levi Mir. It just started. Last year, pretty solid stuff. It's 75 from Brody Lee and Black Taurus against Christian Casanova and Shane Strickland. Strickland and Casanova were the better team. They get the win, as Strickland gets the win in 10 minutes. Obviously, we had to keep it short because of Brody's stamina, but it's just sad that Brody is the worst guy in the match, and it's not even close as far as from that perspective. But what a win, though, for the House of Black, though, and for Swerve. Here's a 70 for Konami and Jungle Kyona. As far as Konami gets the win, cross armbar in 1022. 72 there, 50 for Jungle Kyona. Not a great rating for her, but got the crowd buzzing. What a big singles match, too, for that matchup at 72 for the Kingdom of Torture in Suzuki-gun. And Suzuki-gun gets the win with Rex Steiner, with the Steiner recliner over Drew Parker. It's crazy, excellent chemistry, great chemistry from both teams, and it's only a 72 as Parker and Takanori Ito both off their games. This would have been a little bit better, but still probably would have been like in the 80s, as Rex Steiner, the 59, is just kills me. It kills me to see how badly he does in this. But what a matchup here for the Dragons Den United Empire, as Makabe getting the win with the Makabe lock over Kyle O'Reilly, as Zack Sabre Jr. falter in the 90s. Tomorrow with an 83. It's crazy, Makabe only a 76. That's kind of wild. Usually he does a lot better than that. He must be declining now. Physically, if I had to take a guess. Yep. Tough break there. But listen, he had a hell of a run, though. For a hot minute, he was one of the best guys on the roster. But, as far as now, he's kind of back down to reality. But at least Zack Sabre Jr. and Volter still performing at a high level. 89 for Suzuki-gun and Kingdom of Torture. As we have new champs, with Suzuki-gun getting the win. Gable pinning Devitt with the great amplitude. Gable in the Shino, 88-80 there. As far as great stuff from them. 80 from Jay White as well. So Gable was even really off his game, and he still was the second best guy in the match. Claudio, though, with a 60. He was the worst guy in the match, as he was really off his game. That really hurt the match, but it probably would have been in the 90s if he was on his game, but that is what it is. Our co-main event, though, is we have New Japan, or we have a successful defense, rather, excuse me, as we have Starlight Kid pinning Io Shirai. What a huge win this is, with a sliced bread in front of 100,000 people here in Tiger Stadium in Louisiana, and as far as that is huge, because now she gets a title match with Io Shirai. That will be happening at the Osaka show. So as far as a big win there, and that's her first offense too. But yeah, Io Shirai obviously was the heavy lifter of that one. She blew everybody else out of the water, ratings wise. And then Tyler Black beats Will Hobbs with God's Last Gift in 25-11. That is a big guy to be hitting a fucking small package driver, but he gets the win and is the new United States champion. As surprisingly, this did not do as well as I thought it would. Tyler Black, obviously did the best he could, but just Will Hobbs, I don't think he's quite a main event level guy, unfortunately. But post-show press conference, we have Tokyo Cyber Squad huge, buzzing off of their big win. Not for Jungle Kyona, unfortunately, but and especially Starlight Kid, who talks about the now, beating the IWGP Women's Champion. And she's hopeful to get a future title matchup, and of course she will, as far as we already said. But at this point, obviously she doesn't know that with the post-show press conference. But a huge moment for Starlight Kid, and that's going to be a hell of a matchup as well. As Chaz Gable, Claudia Castagnoli, and Shotaro Ashino, very pleased about being the new Never Openweight six-man champs. As for Gable and Claudio, they and Ashino, of course, they've been working hard to get back into the swing of things now that Ashino's back, and this is just the start for them. And for Tyler Black, his post-show press conference is as far as that when he got the call to main event the new beginning in the U.S., he was, as far as gung-ho about it, because he, as far as even though he was the guy that lost to the main event of Wrestle Kingdom, he wanted to get right back out there and prove that he is still one of the best in the world, and he's not forgotten about Sonata, though. At any time, any place. If, Tanahashi wants to make the match, if Sonata wants to make the match, I'm ready. As far as there's not going to be a triple threat. I know one-on-one he can, as far as Tyler Black says, he can beat him. So as far as it's a little bit of a legitimate, praise for Tyler Black. With as far as being able to main event a show, come in, big win. Tanahashi's kind of maybe thrusted him as the kind of foreigner top guy in New Japan right now, and he kind of delivers here in a big bad way, beating Will Hobbs. But as far as the show, it was a 90, which is a bit of a letdown for what we usually do. It's kind of crazy this non-title matchup was the best thing on the card. Definitely thought for sure Tyler Black and Will Hobbs was going to be the best thing by far, but a bit of a swing and a miss for us. 100,000 people, you want to put on a really, really good show, and it just wasn't that. I think with this tour, it being stretched out across 3 days, it does kind of hurt some of the quality at times, but I'm confident, though, in the Osaka and Sapporo shows. I think they're going to deliver a little bit better than the US shows. We'll see, though, as put over Tyler Black. We'll put over, as far as Gable. Oh, there we go. And then Io Shirai, of course, because goddamn, what a performance. She's been one of the best on the roster, not just from a female perspective, just throughout the roster. She's a top talent, for sure. And now we'll see her match up with Starlight Kid. And but we'll go to the Road 2 shows next, as far as from that perspective. And we'll run down what's going to happen at the Sapporo shows and the Osaka shows as far as what's the card looking like to help kind of guide us through the building blocks of those Road 2 shows. So, yeah. Alrighty. So, for the first Road 2 show here, we have a couple of backstage incidents. One of the new Young Lions, Masaharu Sakota, as far as in Shinsuke Nakamura's Sakota was brought from Wrestler's Court. He was out during the rest of the locker room for a night out as the judge Shinsuke Nakamura found him guilty and sentenced by drinks after the show. He's a young lion. He should not be buying a whole lot of drinks out there. That's not a passing on tips on psychology to Kenji Shiga as well. So as far as I'm trying to think what's the best way showing this. Oh yeah, this as forgot to copy it over. Let's do that now. As for the New Beginning in Sapporo show, though, we have a IWGP Heavyweight title matchup as Hiromu Takahashi taking on Sanada, the champion, of course. So this matchup here starts with Hiromu and Sanada. Hiromu actually was one of the last guys to beat Sanada in a singles matchup, and as far as for him, and him and Sanada, it's an easy match to market. As far as obviously the history there with former Lij Brethren now leaders of their own groups. As far as Hiromu and Sanada, I think they're going to have a great matchup too. It should be a great match. As the IWGP Tag Team title matchup, the Kingdom of Torture back again on the card. This time challenging the Glory Bastards. Of course, they beat the Glory Bastards in the tag leagues, and that's why this match is taking place. And then the Suzuki-gun has to defend their newly acquired belts as they're taking on House of Black, which is the team that beat them during the Gauntlet match. As Starlight Kid, Hana Kimura, and Himawari Unagi taking on Triple Talent Tandem, a little build-up matchup before the main event of the Osaka show, which is Starlight Kid versus Io Shirai. Letting the ladies main event, of course. I mean, Io Shirai, I think is going to do really, really well, and it's even going to go above Volter and Naoya Tamura as the Intercontinental title matchup. But I think it's going to be a really, really good match as well. As the Velocities and Logan McQueen against Bushi, SB Kento, and Yota Tsuji. A little build-up matchup before the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title matchup with Bushi and SB Kento against the Velocities, which, of course, they beat them during the Tag League, the Junior Heavyweight Tag League, back in November, so that's why they get this title matchup. Then Juice and Coughlin against Miro and Keith Lee. And tag matchup on the undercard. Tomoya Tom Ford versus Jiro Kurashio, as Kurashio and Tomoya Tom Ford, of course, you know, the Bomb Squad Desires of Perfection matchup for the undercards. It's the main event, of course, is that. And then a little build-up, some more build-up between Tamura and Volter here, as Tamura and Garcia against Volter in Lee Moriarty, of course, the new Junior Heavyweight Champion. As that's a big-time matchup for sure. As far as for a technical masterclass matchup to open up the show with those guys, I think it's going to work out pretty well. I'm feeling pretty good about that Sapporo show and the Osaka show. We already talked about the title matches, so the next matchups are, you know, Will Hobbs, Colin Tankman, and Evil against Diamond K in a trios matchup. This is a, I'm trying to think if it was an 8-man or a 10-man now off the top of my head, but Task Force Death versus Kingdom of Torture, big time matchup there, big time multi-man match. Then also Hiromu and Ryu Lee versus Sanada and Tomoya Tom Ford, a fallout from the heavyweight title matchup. That's, of course, main eventing the Sapporo show. And Jimmy Hayter and Chris Statlander taking on Becky Knockout Quinn and BB Crawford as well on that show. In the opening matchup, it's as far as Dragon's Den versus United Empire, as Jonathan Gresham and Zack Sabre Jr. take on Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, which is a great, I think, opening matchup, and that's going to do really well. Because the United Empire and Dragon's Den, just having that be the opening matchups just makes sense. Technically, they're some of the best guys in the world, especially with that tag matchup with Zack Sabre Jr. and Gresham. It's going to be a really good match, as that is the major cards. As for this New Beginning show, the Road to New Beginning show, here for day one, we're going to have the main event. As far as probably this Bomb Squad Desires of Perfection matchup, it's a 10-man tag. Obviously, we want to make this be the main event because this is just a big-time matchup and it's building up to the main event as Baroni Yamamura, Desires of Perfection, is going to be Kawato of the Bomb Squad, so a big win there. And that's some momentum for the champion as well, seeing his team get the better of Hiromu's team. Peace, Love, and War against the Monstars U, as that is a trios matchup. Miro, Keith Lee, and Dijak against Clark Connors, Alex Coughlin, and Juice Robinson, as Dijak beating Clark Connors there. Then we'll have, I believe, the House of Black Suzuki-gun matchup is next. As, the 8-man tag. Strickland, Robbie Eagles, Darius Martin, and Dante Martin against Ashino, Claudio, Gable, and Garini, as Gable's going to beat Darius Martin. It's a little win for the champions. Of course, the trios team is Strickland, Eagles, and Dante Martin. So as far as the little build-up with Gable getting the win, but he beats somebody that's not involved in that title matchup as well. So it's a little protecting the challengers while also giving the champions a win. It's a win-win. But Kingdom of Torture and the Lucha Brothers steal the show matchup. It's kind of crazy that these two teams, Kingdom of Torture actually has a winning record over them. They're 2-1 against each other. Last matchup was 2021, which is kind of funny to think about here in the save. 7 years ago, but Ray Fenix is going to get the win there for Drew Parker. And then the Prehistoric Barbarians against the Great Okan and Yoshiki Inamura. This is the Tactical Masterclass matchup as Okan getting a win over Caveman Oog. As that Prehistoric Barbarians team is so fun, though. Was hoping they would get a little bit of a push here, but just ratings-wise hasn't really worked out so well, and there's only so many tag belts, unfortunately. They're only the tag team and the New Japan Strong Boy tag teams, but how big our roster is. If we ever had a third one, if we had the All Asia tag team titles for some reason, or equivalent to that, since obviously that's all Japan's tag belts, secondary tag belts. As far as that's just an idea. As far as but Francesco Akira beating JSA's, of course, Young Lion matchup there, with Akira getting the win. As far as actually, I was thinking of having. Yeah, I think we're gonna have this be Kanto. I think we're gonna start off the show, or start off the tour rather, in Corkin Hall. Actually, yeah, we might as well run the 5,000 seater. Where's the fucking? I thought one of the Yokohama arenas. Must not be it. Yeah, it must be. Great. Should probably just. Oh, there we go. Hotel Ward Gymnasium. That will work. I mean, I think that's going to be a big main event, though. 10-man tag should work out pretty well, as Akira's getting the win over JSA. Oh, they have great chemistry. So that worked out. Being the opening matchup, even though it was rated poor for a tour show of 64 for the opening matchup, is not bad at all. And a decent matchup here for Okan and Yoshiki Inamura against the Prehistoric Barbarians, as Okan pinning Caveman Oog with the big lariat, as Okan, best guy in the matchup, followed by Cavanero, and just a couple point difference between Inamura and Caveman Oog. But it was a good matchup, though. For what we needed, decent little matchup. 78, Lucha Brothers against Kingdom of Torture. Package file driver, foot stomp combination there from the Lucha Brothers over Drew Parker. Jesus says, Ray Phoenix and Pentagon Jr., though, of course, great team. And they get another win there. Ishimori is, 46, I believe? One of those guys on the roster, still 74. He's a fucking machine. As House of Black Suzuki-gun as the 8-man tag. Chaz Gable beating Darius Martin. Another win for Gable as well. He is just a machine out there. But Shino, best guy in the match. Then Gable. And then, Dante Martin and Strickland right behind him. So it's actually a pretty close matchup. I'm excited to see how that title matchup plays out. Because obviously Darius brought the match down. Rob Eagles, unfortunately, with a 62. Him and Claudio did the same. I don't know what's going on there. It's wild. But Monstars, you beating Peace, Love, and War. What a win. As Dijak, of course, beating Clark Connors with overhead belly to belly. What a fucking suplex. Pretty good matchup. Dijak did the same as Connor, so we're cool with that. And he was off his game, too, so it could have been even better. Juice was the best guy in the match, but he's not involved in the finish, so it's not too bad for him. But an 82 is not too bad. Oh my god, a 76. That did not go over well. Yeah, Drew London still has his injury. He's dealing with that. That will probably affect him in the title matchup as well. So, not going to be as good of a matchup as I would have hoped there for that title matchup and for this matchup. But Aromo and Sonata, 82s and 81s. Roosh and Ryu Lee right behind him as well. It's a good little matchup. It just didn't work out as highly as I would have hoped. But Baroni Yamamori, though, with the moonsault onto Kawato in 21:57. It's a big win, though. Big win for Designs of Perfection. And now we go into day 2, and then before you know it, we'll be at the we'll be at the New Beginning in Sapporo show. Alrighty, day 2 of the Road 2 shows. As far as backstage incidents here, a couple of them, as Bull Nakano with one of the young lionesses in Mari Akamoto, as she's got a protege now, which is what a fucking gift for Akamoto to learn under Bull Nakano. That is huge, as Satoshi Kojima still passes on microphone works to Hayata Tamura. Just crazy that he still passes down knowledge to him. He's the fucking man. And Sonata passing on psychology tips to Kenji Shiga. As our main event here for this second day, it's a tough one. As far as there's Tyler Black and Trey Strickland against Ashino and Claudio, which I think that will be the main 22-minute matchup here. As Ashino's going to beat Strickland. So that's a big win, for sure, in that matchup. Actually, let's have Strickland beat Claudio. I think he's going to outperform him. I think that'd do really, really big wonders for Strickland. Yeah, and let's give it a little bit more time. 25 minutes. So, co-main event. You know, the Astronauts matchup against Kenta Nakajima. I like that matchup a lot. Two fun, very fun teams. As far as I would definitely love to see this matchup, especially Nakajima and Kenta in their prime against Astronauts in their prime. That'd be a fantastic matchup as Nakajima will get the win too over Takuya Nomura. Yeah, then Okada and Carl Fredericks. First, the time splitters. I know it's a bit of a weird matchup here, because like Okada's clearly a heavyweight, and so is Fredericks. But Kushida's kind of jumped back up to heavyweight, so it works out. And obviously, Shelley's a veteran who has been around forever, and I think that's a fun matchup to make, though. So we'll see how it plays out. And then Hana Kimura and Jungle Kiona against Kairi Hojo and Konami. So Konami will, you know, actually, let's have Jungle Kiona get a win back over Konami. That'd make a little bit more sense than having her beat her twice. And then Junta Miyakawa. Oh, no, never mind. That's what it was going to be. But now we switch it to United Empire of Josh Alexander and Gavin McGavin versus Atsuki Aoyagi and Ryoto Machizuki, as Aoyagi's going to beat Josh Alexander. It's a big win for the new wave of Strong Style. Then the Young Lionesses here, we still haven't given them a picture, but they're going to lose to Queen's Quest here in 6 minutes, because that's how long one of them can only work. This is one of the new crops of Young Lionesses. It's Matsuki Inoue Sagawa, just one name, and Yukio Koshi. As far as, I felt like with the Lionesses, there is a lot of them, that we have a lot of girls on our roster that are just go under one name, so it just feels like that makes sense to do here as well for the Young Lionesses. But I think it's going to be a pretty good card, all things considered, for this Day 2 show. Yeah, we'll run... Yeah, we'll probably run Shubu here. I thought... Yeah, there's a 5,000, so yeah, as I was about to say, yeah, the Ishikawa Sports Center. That'll work for us, and let's run it. 57, wow, that's actually a lot better than I anticipated, as still not a great matchup, but for having three Young Lionesses making their debut, we'll make it work, as Teonma getting the win with the 120% Schoolboy in 6 minutes. A fun little matchup for the Young Lionesses to make their debuts. 74 for Atsuki Aoyagi and Machizuki against Alexander and Gavin McGavin. Pretty good matchup, all things considered. Decent little matchup, as Aoyagi with a Firebird Splash over Alexander in 20 minutes. Yeah, Aoyagi, best guy in the match, so I'm glad he gets the win there. 68 for Hana Kimura and Jungle Kiona against Konami and Kairi Hojo. Of course, Kiona getting that win back, but yeah, she got outperformed. But I guess we could have had Hana Kimura beat Konami. That part made more sense, but I just went with my gut. Oh, my gut on that one. As Carl Fredericks and Kazuchika Okada against Kushida and Alex Shelley. Oh my god, Carl Fredericks was a 41. Very, very rusty is Carl Fredericks. So, and plus he was really off his game. So just a terrible performance from him all the way around. Okada gets the win though with a Haju Bomb. At least, you know, he's the best guy in the match. It was just a sad state of affairs. How much Okada has fallen in this save, performance-wise, just brutal. As Kenta and Nakajima beating the Astronauts. Abe was the best guy in the matchup, but Takuya Nomura was the worst guy, so just kind of evens out there. And they were the better team, you know, Kenta and Nakajima were. The 79 for the main event. Tyler Black and Shane Strickland beating Claudio Castagnoli and Shotaro Ashino. Great matchup there for Swerve and Tyler Black. 25-14 for Shane Strickland. Big win, though. Big win. We need to edit, you know, Shane Strickland's moveset. The way he's getting all these big-time wins, he keeps on winning with a handspring back elbow. We need to give him some bigger moves. That is for sure, as that is at least for the Road to shows for the Sapporo show. And now we go to the New Beginning in Sapporo. Obviously, we'll do like we do for all the kind of major shows now. We just already have the show lined up. We run it, and then we'll go back to the Road 2 show for Osaka. So we're already a little over halfway through the tour. Also forgot to talk about at the Brody Lee retirement show. There's also the main event of that show is not actually going to be Brody Lee. I know it's kind of weird to have that happen, but we're in a unique position to where we can do the New Japan Strong Openweight title matchup with Konosuke Takeshita and Will Hobbs, since obviously Takeshita won the New Japan Rumble, so we needed to make that match anyways. Figured that would kind of be the best place for it, so that's the main event of that show. So there is actually something of importance there happening, but as far as the show itself, it's only going to be 4 matches, so it's not going to be a lot of matches. It's going to be mainly Dark Order matches as well, so it's just kind of like a celebration of the Dark Order in a lot of ways. But yeah, that's just that show. But yeah, on to Sapporo we go. Alrighty, as we open up the show with the... Alrighty, we open up the New Beginning in Sapporo show with Hado Tamura and Daniel Garcia against Lee Moriarty and Volter, as Moriarty's going to get the one with the joint custody. And 2013 is what a window for Moriarty, as far as him and Volter, obviously a hell of a team. They outperformed him. It was close. So it's kind of crazy that Lee Moriarty, best guy in the matchup, and of course he's the junior heavyweight champion right now. He's really proven to be probably the best as far as taking somebody who had not been to Japan to stir the save and building them all the way up. I mean, he's been incredible for us, and yeah, just proving again and again that he has been a worthy person to have brought. I mean, really a lot of people from United Empire really smacked it out of the park as far as being brought in and being a player. But man, he's built his way up from the bottom to where he's at now. It's been an incredible ride for him. As Tomoya Tom Ford and Kurashio here as a 69. Nice, but not a great matchup for the final show. But I wanted to have a matchup where these two guys got to show off some of their stuff. And Tomoya Tom Ford, too, gets the win. So as far as Design's Perfection getting a win here, maybe that's the same fate we'll see in the main event, or we'll see a new heavyweight champion. As a 77 for Juice Robinson and Alex Coughlin against Keith Lee and Miro. Miro and Keith Lee were the better team, so they an upset for sure. But Juice was the best guy in the matchup, so it kind of almost evens out. But yeah, I mean, I love the team of Keith Lee and Miro, though. Love that. Just unfortunately they lost here, but they're definitely a hell of a team in the future for sure to watch out for. As the build-up matchup for the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title matchup, man, Paris Day Silva with a 90, another guy that started from the bottom, has worked his way up, and is an incredible talent for us. Unreal. I mean, he literally made the match. If it wasn't for him, this would have been nowhere close to a 90. Yota Tsuji gets the win, too, with a spear over Logan McQueen. Great win for Yota Tsuji. He actually was the worst guy in the match, though, unfortunately for him. But, yeah, great performance, especially, Jude London still dealing with his injury as well. Him being the worst guy in the matchup for, the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles, unless it might be healed in time, but I don't think it will be for the Osaka show. Tough break for him, because that matchup's going to be actually really good. I'm excited to see how it plays out. Unfortunately about his injury, but if he's 100%, it's going to be a hell of a match. As the Triple Talent Tandem team gets the win over Tokyo Cyber Squads, as the champion, Io Shirai beats Hana Kimura here, so a little win back for her. Gets a win over Hana Kimura too, so maybe a little, as far as maybe mind games potentially, or maybe a little one-upsmanship going into the matchup with Starlight Kid. Yamori Unagi, though, with a 60. I thought for a second she had an 80. I was like, oh my god, she's the best girl on her side. But no, she's the worst girl on her side. Probably could have got the loss, but I felt like the Hana Kimura loss made a little bit more of a bigger impact for the women's champ. It's an 89 for the Neverweight 6-man tag team title matchup as their first successful defense here for Suzuki-gun. They beat House of Black. So they're Dante Martin with an 82. Good stuff there. Shitoro Shino, though, best guy in the matchup, he gets the win with the reverse cross armbar over Robbie Eagles. Great stuff from the 6-man champs. The tag team champs, the Gory Bastards, beating the Kingdom of Torture here with Moxley pinning King Devitt with the Death Rider. The Gory Bastards with their third defense. Hell of a team, of course, of Pac and Moxley, and another win for them, and they just keep on trucking. And our main event, only a 94. God damn it. But Sonata gets the win with the rounding body press. It makes his first defense a successful one here over Hiromu in 31 minutes. Great matchup. It would have been obviously a lot better if it was a 95-plus matchup. But Hiromu didn't hit the 90. Sonata didn't hit the 90. So it just kind of is what it is. I don't know if it was maybe stamina was a factor. Because it going 31 minutes. It was a very hot crowd. Kawada was the agent. It just didn't work out, unfortunately for us. But I'm still pleased with that show. Definitely a much better show than the USA show. But as far as the post-show press conference for the champion, as far as Io Shirai, I'm going to talk about the Starlight Kid loss in the tag matchup. It's a fluke, and she's going to prove it at Osaka, and that she knows. Every time she goes into the ring, as far as she steps in that squared circle, she is the best woman in the world. Not only just the best woman in the world, she's one of the best in the world, maybe even the best in the world. Pound for pound, she thinks someone can beat her on any given night. So that is just a huge, maybe, momentum builder, maybe, as far as putting out positivity, maybe even false positivity. Maybe she's trying to psych out Starlight Kid. This is a big time moment for Starlight Kid. She's never won women's championship or anything like that, so that would be maybe a gamesmanship from Io Shirai there, as well as that press conference. As Moxley and Pac talking about their win and getting their win back of the Kingdom of Torture. For Moxley, just simply put for him, he says, listen, anytime I'm teaming up with this crazy bastard, we know we're going to get the job done. It's going to be a bad matchup for anybody out there. As far as he's got with Pac, we got speed, we have technical ability, we can brawl with you, we can take it to the parking lot. It doesn't matter. As far as it doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are, it doesn't matter. We know that we are the best tag team in the world. We've proved it time and time again. And if anybody wants a shot, we're ready. As far as it's kind of open invitation. Open season, if you will, for the Glory Bastards. So, as far as for them, with Mox and Pac, they, of course, Moxley hasn't won the IWGP Heavyweight title in the safe. Obviously, in real life, he has just now. And, Pac, obviously, has not won the IWGP Heavyweight title in the safe. But he's had very, very good chances as well. He's had some great reigns throughout the safe. But I think these two guys, together as a team, they are a bit of a dynamic duo. You got the kind of fiery, brawling, as far as never die babyface of Jon Moxley. And you got Pac, as well, as far as a guy that can have that kind of sadistic, evil side, but also can be a great high-flying babyface, and it's a guy that can technically wrestle some of the best guys in the world. So it just kind of works out for that team, and I'm glad they've been able to have a great little reign. And for Sonata, really, for this press conference, it's not so much of Hiromu losing and how, talking about the matchup. It's more about what's on the horizon. They talk about, for the press conference, it's the question of, Tyler Black saying that he's still eyeing a matchup with them. And for Sonata, he says, listen, if the dork of our president wants to make this match, I'll gladly face Tyler Black at the anniversary show under one condition. It's a non-title matchup. Because he feels like, listen, if he's going to not face Lee Moriarty and he's going to go on Tyler Black instead, it's got to be a non-title. He's not going to agree to it. So it's giving Sonata a heelish way to maybe put one over Tanahashi again, because here's a potential great champion versus champion matchup, and him kind of sticking the knife in him, going, and you know what, it can happen, but it's a non-title. So it's very much a maybe not a one-upsmanship, but definitely a bit of a slap in the face to the ace there, as far as that press conference goes, for Sonata, the dickhead heavyweight champion. As far as, that was a much better show. Unfortunately, just the two title matches at the top of the card were the best things on the card, but, this would have been a little bit better, potentially, that, the Never Open six-man tag team title matchup, and we just keep on having non-title six-man matches on these cards that have very good ratings, so that's been kind of fun to see. At least it was better than the US show, but now we go to Osaka, as we build towards the Osaka show. And, we'll put over Sonata and Hiromu. And honestly, Paris de Silva, he deserves it for sure. He was incredible. Great shit, bud. Great shit. So just the next two Road 2 shows, and then the Osaka show, and that will do it then for the New Beginning Tour. But at least no one's gotten injured, thank God. There's still a lot more shows left, though, for us, as far as an injury can happen at the drop of a hat for us, unfortunately, with our style. So we just gotta hope that we stay healthy and that everybody's ready to go for the Osaka show. Alrighty. As far as the Road to show for Osaka now. The first Road to New Beginning, as far as we have a couple of Young Lion matches on this card, but the return of Calvin Tankman as well, as Calvin Tankman and as far as Will Hobbs taking on Kota Umeda and Kenta, as Calvin Tankman's going to get the win here. So it's a big win for the returning Tankman, but I'm sure that matchup's not going to go over too well, unfortunately, but we'll see. And I believe, is Xavier back now? Nope, he's not. So yeah, we're going to have to change that. I figured so. So we'll go with Koji Kamai instead against the new wave of strong style here, which will give our El Hero Dad Airbender to win over Oiwa. Perfect. Alrighty. Match history. Yeah, about to say, we have done this. Yeah, we did this at the Strong taping in December, so quick little turnaround matchup for him. Kamai's going to win again, though, because obviously they're the much better team. 4 horsewomen. So then, Ashley Flair, Becky, Ashley Flair, it's Becky Knockout Quinn, BB Crawford, and Toni Storm. And they're going to take on the team of Chris Statlander, Jamie Hayter, who's now part of the Dark Order. Just felt like because we've been teaming them up, it made sense, and plus, kind of the last kind of initiation of, Brody Lee in charge, bringing in Jamie Hayter, and so it's a big win for them, and Rina Yamashita, who is not affiliate, so that's why she's on this team, but that's also why the Force would win as well, because it's a non-affiliated unit against an affiliated unit. It just makes sense for them to get the win there. Then the Evil Black Taurus matchup against Daichi Hashimoto and Leona Fujinami. This is a win for Hashimoto here. He's going to beat Evil, so tough break for the Dark Order there. And then, yeah, the 2 Young Lion matches, which Flyer will be beating Machizuki, and then Kota Umeda and Levi Mir, which is the Technical Masterclass matchup. It's going to be a pretty good match, actually. Levi Mir is going to get the win. And do we need a Steal the Show matchup? Oh, no, we're good to go. Alrighty. Oh, that's right. Yeah, this is the New Wave of Strong Style Koji Kamai matches to Steal the Show. So, yeah, we're going to be running in Osaka, so just anywhere that's not Osaka is fine. And the Iwate Perfectional Gym it is. We're good to go. Let's run the show. As far as the opening contest, Young Lion matchup, Flyer getting the win. 63 for him. Doubled Machizuki. And then Kyoto Michinori and Levi Mir. As far as Levi Mir getting the win in 60 minutes. Not a great matchup, but it's a good showing for Levi Mir, and it gets Kyoto Michinori a matchup there. And what a good little matchup this is, though, actually, as a vertical drop Rainbuster for Hashimoto over Evil in 10 minutes. Could have given them a lot more time. It's actually a good little match. So that was good stuff there from Evil and Black Taurus, and then Hira Dead Airbender and Akira beating Oiwa and Yuta Nakashima. Actually, decent little matchup here as well. 6:30 from El Hiro Dead Airbender, and that's a great win for him with the 6:30 as well. And so 2 teams with excellent chemistry, or 1 with excellent, 1 with great. Got the crowd buzzing too, so did its job as far as the Seal of the Show matchup. 4 horsewomen beating Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, and Rina Yamashita. Wow, great stuff from Jamie Hayter. Not great from Chris Statlander, though. She usually does a lot better in America than in Japan, unfortunately for her, and that's why she lost, too. She lost to the Knocks out by Becky Lynch there in 20 minutes. So decent little matchup. Becky was off her game, too. Really off her game, so it could have been even better, but I like it's a tour show, so it's not that big of a deal. And then Will Hobbs and Calvin Tankman beating Kenta and Kota Umeda. What a big win there. Tankman with a Doomsday Plunge in 2020. Great stuff. Obviously, the Order of Destruction, God bless them. They are very much the focal point for them in Dark Order. They were definitely a bright spot during the save, and they get another big win. And maybe they're on the cusp of another tag team title run. You never know. But yeah, that's as far as day 3 of the Road 2 shows. Now we got one more Road 2 show, and then we'll be on to the final show for the New Beginning Tour. Alrighty, the last Road 2 show of the tour as our big main event. As far as LIJ, Designs for Perfection, it's a 8-man tag here. Sonata involved in the matchup, Sombra involved in the matchup, so a little kind of harkening back to what was originally, the planned Wrestle Kingdom main event, of course, at one point or another due to the briefcase, if it was a one-on-one matchup, but Sombra gets the win over Logan McQueen. So a fun little matchup there. Then, co-main's going to be interesting. As far as Kirishio and Keisuke Okuda against Hiromu Takahashi and Kirishio, which Kirishio is going to beat Okuda. That was just a nice little matchup for Hiromu to kind of bounce back off of losing to Sonata, of course. This is the technical masterclass matchup. This is a hell of a match. Jonathan Gresham, Nintendo Makabe against the Dragon's Den team. So basically that same matchup we're going to see to open up Osaka. But instead of Makabe, it's Zack Sabre Jr., but they get the win. And the Young Lion matchup, we'll have Makachi Hidaka and Kuma Meya taking on Kota Ibushi and Fuminori Abe, which, of course, the Blast-Off team will get the win there. And Naito and Yota Tsuji against Designs of Perfection, which is going to be a win for Yota Tsuji there. That's going to be a pretty abysmal matchup, in all honesty. As, we'll put that second. And then Black Taurus and John Silver take it on. Diamond K have Kato Crusher and Kosai Fujita, as Kato Crusher is going to get the win. So no build-up to the Hobbs Konosuke Takeshita matchup. Just felt like it doesn't really need it because it's been set in stone because of him winning the Rumble. So it just, I feel like this was kind of the best case scenario for this kind of day 4 show to really build towards Osaka and not really build toward the retirement show. As we'll pick our venue. Perfect. Yeah, we'll run the Hiroshima Green Arena. Let's see how the opening matchup plays out. 64. Bushi and Abe getting the win there. Amei with a 28. At least Hidaka with a 38, though. That's actually pretty solid for a young lion. As Bushi with the Phoenix Splash. Kind of crazy. He's hitting Phoenix Splashes in 2028. By the way his body's going, probably will not be happening in real life, but who knows? Yota Tsuji pinning Tomoya Tom Ford with the spear. Yeah, best guy in the match by far. Naito got outperformed by Burberry Baba and Tomoya Tom Ford. But he is washed. It is a shame. Very, very sad. But Kato Crusher and Kosai Fujita, Diamond K, beating the Dark Order team, Black Taurus and John Silver. And Silver losing to the Argentine backbreaker in 9:32. Good stuff. Good stuff there. Decent little matchup. Black Taurus was off his game, but he still was the best guy for his team. 79 for Makabe and Gresham against Roger Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. It's a 20-minute matchup there with Makabe and Gresham getting the win. I just realized we had the Technical Masterclass matchup so high on the list of matches. That's probably not a good idea, but it is what it is. Spike Driver there for Gresham over Roger Strong. At least it went over pretty well. And then Hiromu Takahashi and Kirishio beating Kazuchika Okada and Keisuke Okuda. Kirishio with the hybrid bomb as Hiromu, best guy in the match by far. Kind of crazy Kirishio and Keisuke Okuda were just slightly behind Kazuchika Okada. Does not make me feel great about that. In the main event, though, 8-man tag, of course, building up to the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title matchup, but also a little bit of everything involved. Yeah, it's got a sprinkle of everything. Like Sombra and Sonata maybe potentially in the future with a actual one-on-one matchup. And as far as for LIJ, they get the win with Sombra pinning Logan McQueen with split-legged corkscrew senton. Of course, Sombra, of course, coming off of his Fantastica Mania win, winning the CMLL World Light Heavyweight title. So that's just a big win all around for him, and that's the best match of the Road 2 shows, at least, with that 86. Nice little Road 2 show going into the final show. I'm feeling good. Feeling good about the Osaka show with this kind of momentum. And now we go to the Osaka show. We'll kind of recap what's happening with the Brody Lee retirement show. So the main event, of course, the title matchup, New Japan Strong Openweight title on the line. Will Hobbs will retain. He's going to beat Konosuke Takeshita. Dark Order taking on Diamond K in an 8-man. And we're actually going to give Brody the win on his final match because it's going to be in his hometown. I feel like that's kind of the best case scenario, honestly, to give him a big win for his send-off for what he's done for the company and what he's done as far as you just as a guy, as a man, he fucking ruled. So there's that, and then there's a Statlander and Jamie Hayter taking on a women's team. I forget who it is. And then we'll probably add a Young Lion matchup to the opening matchup just to kind of make it even for 4 matches, and that's the plan. So that's what's going to be happening on that show. So as far as just a little, in case anyone was wondering what's going on. And then we go to the Osaka show. So, alright, so now on to the Osaka show we go. Alrighty, we have the opening matchup here for the New Beginning in Osaka show here for 2028 as Jonathan Gresham and Zack Sabre Jr. get the win. What a team, of course, Zack Sabre Jr. and Jonathan Gresham are. It's crazy how many combinations we have of United Empire that are like some of the best tag teams we'll have in the world. You know, obviously Volter and Zack Sabre Jr., Makabe and Gresham was a great team, and you know, Zack Sabre Jr. and Gresham could very well be a tremendous team. And same thing for Zack Sabre Jr. and Makabe. Like, that's another great combination we could have. It's just, it's endless. It's very, very endless. But they get the win there with the Zack driver. Zack Sabre Jr. was a 74 for Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander, beating the Becky Knockout Quinn BB Crawford team. What a win for Hayter as she gets the win. And, man, they're looking good. Statlander, again, not really great in Japan. But if they're in America, boy, they are a team to watch out for. But if Statlander can get her shit together in Japan, they'll be a force for sure, but she specifically will be definitely a force. It's an 80 for Ryu Lee and Hiromu against Sanada and Tomoya Tom Ford as Hiromu gets the win with a time bomb in 12:28. So it was a Steal the Show matchup, which, you know, obviously capped it at 80, but we probably could have given it a little bit more time, but just a great win for Hiromu and Ryu Lee, which they're a hell of a team as well. It's 87 for the Task Force Death Kingdom of Torture 10-man tag as Moxley pins Ishimori with the Death Rider. Again, just a crazy performance from a guy that is so old in Taiji Ishimori. Like, he's older than Devitt, and he's still 70. He's obviously older than Brody King. Just crazy. Obviously older than Shota Umino as well, all outperforming him. But yeah, Pac, Ray Fenix, Moxley, really good stuff. Obviously they were going to outperform the Kingdom of Torture, and they get the win because of that as well. 28-minute matchup, though. We gave them a lot of time for that 10-man tag. And 85 for Diamond K in the Dark Order as Konosuke Takeshita gets the win via submission, as you know, obviously he lost in the title matchup, which happened in Rochester, but now gets the win here, at least in the trios match, but not the way he probably wanted to end out this tour. He wanted this to be, obviously, the New Japan Strong Openweight Champion. It's an 88 for the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title matchup, as it's their second defense. Bushi and SB Kendo, they fall short here, as Paris de Silva is back to 100% too, so glad we got to see this. At 87 and 91 for both London and Silva. Just tough break, though, as far as only a 66 and 69 for Bushi and SB Kento. Thought they'd do a little bit better, but that's the way she goes. Volter and Hayato Tamura, 92 as the jackhammer from Tamura over Volter. What a big win that is for Tamura, though, to beat Volter. Of course, those two behemoths in there is always a fun matchup and a fun idea to have, as far as they just have so many great matches together. If I had to do it again in a co-main event, too, because the main event, 93, Starlight Kid falls short to Io Shirai. She does it again for the 16th time. Unreal. Defending that belt all over the world, and does it again here in Osaka with a big, big win. As our post-show press conferences, the first one is Will Hobbs and Calvin Tankman. As for them, it's not about what happened tonight. It's about what happened at the retirement show for Brody Lee. And for Hobbs and Tankman, they feel like they're the next men up to lead the Dark Order. You know, the Order of Destruction have been a dominant force, and they're not going away anytime soon. And they specifically mentioned Moxley and Pac. You know, last year for them, during the Road 2 show, the first Road 2 show of the tour, they actually beat the Gory Bastards. This was a build-up to Hobbs and Pac, and Hobbs kind of talks about that as far as, we already beat your ass once before, we'll beat your ass again, and this time for the belts, because we are, you know, the most dominant force in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and you guys aren't going to be able to stop us. So, looks like Hobbs, even though he lost the U.S. title, he's looking to get the IWGP Tag Team title. So again, he is just a fucking belt-hungry machine. But man, that is going to be a hell of a matchup if it takes place sooner rather than later. Because obviously, we got a lot of things happening going on in the tour right now. Or not in the tour, on the schedule. The anniversary show, then of course, will be at the New Japan Cup for 2028. So just a lot of things happening on the schedule. Next one is the Velocities with Sonata, and they get interrupted, though, as far as talking about their successful title defense for both Sonata and Paris de Silva and Drew London, and how Designs of Perfection, they're hoping that they can carry this momentum to maybe some of the other members of the team, and wanting to get even bigger and better. And for Sonata, of course, it is trying to be a global brand name. But for he's trying to go on a bit of a tirade, gets cut off by Tanahashi, who in Sonata just kind of big shit-eating grin, just like, what's the news from the president here? Tanahashi says that he's talked to Lee Moriarty, and Moriarty is willing to withdraw from the champion versus champion matchup, and in his place, it is Tyler Black. It will be a non-title matchup for the anniversary show. You said that you'd be willing to do it. Figured this would be a big-time match for not only you, for Tyler Black, and for the fans. So that is our main event for the anniversary show. And Sonata's, he's not livid. He's kind of like gritting his teeth a little bit about it. He's just like, fuck, he didn't think Tanahashi would do it. He figured, it's kind of tradition. Junior heavyweight champ versus heavyweight champ. I'm not going to have to sweat it. But now, it's going to be U.S. champ versus heavyweight champ. And the two men that were closing out Wrestle Kingdom now, just almost a month later, almost 2 months later, but it's the end of February, so a month later, battling it out in the main event. It is a non-title matchup again, but it's a big implication matchup for Tyler Black and for Sonata, of course, if Sonata can prove that he was the best man that night, even with the extra man on La Sombra. But a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can happen for sure, and that is that press conference. Next one, though, it's Io Shirai, as she is talking about a drained Io Shirai. Hell of a fight with Starlight Kid. I guess a hell of a match, rather, not a fight, but a hell of a match with Starlight Kid. Talks about, again, the travel she's endured. She's been flying all over the world, to the UK, to England, to Scotland, to America, to Canada, back to Japan. She's going all over the world defending her women's title, and she's have to proven day in and day out that she's the best in the business. She does it again tonight, but before she even goes, further down in her press conference, power goes out. And they're just kind of like, this doesn't happen. And the power comes back on, and it's these three women of Raven Creed, Thunder Rosa, and Sage Sin, standing above the laid out Io Shirai, Kairi Ojo, and Konami, because when the power goes out, there was some commotion. They couldn't see anything. Press was trying to flash, photography pictures, and you kind of see, in flashbulb form, these ladies appear and taking out Io Shirai, Kairi Ojo, and Konami. They are the Damas de la Muerte, which is, of course, the Ladies of Death, and they are part of Kingdom of Torture, which will be revealed soon enough, but right now it's just like, oh my god, who are these three women in Thunder Rosa, Raven Creed, and Sage Sin? As far as I felt like this is a great kind of trio. Gets some new blood in there for Thunder Rosa and Raven Creed and Sage Sin onto the main roster, because they've been in CMLL for a little bit. And I think it's a great kind of story going forward for Io Shirai now. As far as now, she's got a new challenger in Thunder Rosa. And I think it's going to be a pretty good matchup. We'll see, though. I don't think it's going to be as good as some of the matches we've seen with, Starlight Kid and Julia and Himeka Rita. Those matches have been really, really good, but I'm hoping it's going to be a good one. This segment bombed, for sure. Luckily, it's a post-show press conference, but my god, that did not go over well. The show itself, though, as far as, again, main event and co-main event delivered, opening match toughly delivered, but the rest of the card, not so much. Again, it's tough when you're stretching out a tour like this across 3 shows, when we could have just had a jam-packed top show with, the women's title, the Intercontinental title, the heavyweight matchup, the heavyweight title matchup, rather, all those title matches on one show. We probably would have had a bang-up card, and probably would have been 92s and above the whole way, but here, instead, we kind of stretch it out a little bit, but I think it worked out in the end. What a show, though. Again, for Io Shirai, just incredible stuff from her. Starlight Kid, give her a hug. That was a big moment, main eventing a show like that. And, trying to think who else. Zack Sabre Jr. did pretty well. We'll put him over for his opening matchup performance. As that will do it, though, for this episode. We made it to the end, my God. By hook or by crook, we did it. And it's finally going to come out now on Sunday. Apologies again, just brutal. The schedule has just been absolutely fucked. But we're going to hopefully get back on track again, as far as with everything going on with the new TEW, just now, a month away. It's going to be kind of interesting to kind of dictate what's happening throughout the saves and whatnot. We're going to try to keep both the TEW 2020 saves going, but I kind of, part of me is like, maybe we could have one kind of last hurrah TEW 2020 save with doing, I've been wanting to do that Trios Tag League for so long. Be finally a good time to do it, or even Season 2 of the Mystery, where I randomized the roster, product, and company name. Do Season 2 of that, so another company, plus the Carnival Wars company. Been wanting to do that as kind of like a farewell to kind of wrap that up, too. Obviously, Season 2 of Magnifico Lucha Libre was something I've definitely been wanting to do for a long, long time. It's just been hard to get kind of... there's so many big plans I had for it, and a lot of editing stuff, and there's just not enough fucking time in the day, unfortunately, for all these series sometimes, and some of them get put on the back end, and some of them, fortunately, don't get to see the light of day, but there's going to be a lot of things happening in July, too, so it's going to be interesting to kind of finagle all that, but that's just kind of what's going on. Another, in case you missed the kind of announcement of TEW series, or the announcement of the new TEW game, TEW9 video. Just figured give a little update on that to end it out. But thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time for the anniversary show. Take care, everyone.